Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. So this is part 1 of the new moon in Taurus video. Part 2 is available on Patreon. On Patreon, I go into a deeper message of the sun, moon, and rising placements, even pull some cards and see what energies is coming up when it comes to that new moon energy and other transits that are happening at the time. When it comes to this new moon in Taurus video, there are 5 things that I would like to share with you about this new moon energy. And the first thing is the numerology. So when it comes to this new moon in Taurus energy, this is happening in an 8th year. And the year 2024 adds up and reduced to the number 8 vibration. The number 8 vibration is very similar to Taurus energy, as both of these energies deals with tradition, deal with stability, deals with security, deals with the old ways of how things are. And, we'll say things are supposed to be this way, and we'll only say that because that's what we're familiar with. That's what we know. So Taurus energy is one that deals with stability, very similar to the number 8 energy, dealing with stability. And with us being in an 8th year, this is a year where we're reflecting on the way things are within our lives, and we're forced to be honest with ourselves about where we see ourselves in, say, the next 10 years, in the next decade. Like, can we keep going with the way how things are? Or do we need to make some changes to improve our situation? Or do we need to completely walk away from a situation? So within the 8th year, those are some things that we're thinking about. And the number 8 energy, the 8th year, deals with our finances. And Taurus energy deals with the tangible things that we experience in our physical world, the things that bring comfort to our world. So with this new moon energy happening within an 8th year, there is new beginnings when it comes to ways to bring more stability and comfort in our world, for sure. May is the 5th month. The number 5 deals with sudden and unexpected changes. The number 5 is also a channel in energy. It deals with change. It deals with travel. It deals with communication. So with this new moon energy, happening in an 8th year on a 5th month, this could create this feeling of sudden and unexpected events, creating a windfall of financial abundance for someone, or financial opportunities come in a way that feels sudden and unexpected. Or with the number 5 energy dealing with the month of May, it's like you hear something, you overhear something, and from being at the right place at the right time and overhearing something, it inspires you to dive deeper into your situation and create change. Or I think of how the number 5 energy is a telepathic energy. So it's like the voice that we heard really is our higher self, our own internal voice giving us guidance, and it just is the right time, and we're receptive to hear and apply. So this new moon is happening on the 7th, and the number 7th is very similar to the number 5 energy. Both energies are intuitive or psychic within their own way. The number 5, May, is like a clairaudient energy. It's like you thought you heard something. You thought you heard your mother's voice and the phone is ringing and it's her. Or for me, sometimes I'll have moments where it's like I'll smell the person and then they'll show up. But the clairaudient, the number 5 energy, is like you heard something and then it appears. And with today being the full moon, the new moon energy being on the 7th, The number 7 deals with the crown chakra, where the 5 deals with the throat chakra. So that's where we heard something. With today being the 7th, we have this knowing. So it's like when it comes to, say, this new moon energy, something comes over you and you just know what to do. And there's nothing like that feeling of just knowing. It's like inspired guidance coming, and it's like, now it's time to take inspired action. And now you just know. Where life would remind me of learning how to trade, meaning when you're learning how to trade, you realize that most of trading has to do with you waiting and doing absolutely nothing, waiting for the right time to take action. And life could feel like that for me, in the sense that there are moments where I just want to be doing something to feel like I'm getting somewhere. And whenever I get caught up in that energy and do something for the sake of doing something so I could feel like I'm getting somewhere, that's when I end up wasting money and resources, because in that moment I should have been reflecting, I should have been resting, I should have been learning, I should have been doing absolutely nothing, because that was just the phase that I was in. And similar to trading, I'll find myself getting in and just want to push the button and do something, and that will cause me to waste my resources by feeling the need to just do something. So today being the 7th, like the number 7 just knows. And to me, this is where, we have this knowing, this divine intuitive guidance, and that it's time to take inspired action. And it's like, those are the moments when we're supposed to put all our energy into something and act. And then the other times, try to be focused, because it's so easy to get distracted with what everybody else is going. There's 1,000,001 videos coming at you on how this person was able to make money and level up and become a millionaire, and this person was able to level up and make 100K a month, and this and that and this and that. And it's like, if we don't know ourselves or know what's for us, we could find ourselves looking like a dog chasing its tail, trying everything so that we could be busy trying to get somewhere when we're absolutely getting nowhere, wasting our energy, time, and resources in the process. So the number, the month, the 5th month deals with that clear audience. The day, the 7th, deals with that knowingness, the crown chakra. I just know. And the energies in the day of the new moon adds up and reduces to number 2 vibration. And the number 2 is our intuition. I feel that gut feeling. I have a strong feeling. So it's like, when I think of all those energies coming together, a Taurus energy and the full moon being in Taurus is such a practical earth energy. And with Taurus being such practical earth energy, Taurus energy will question those feelings and knowing if there's not enough tangible evidence in sight. Similar to the number 8 year, the number 8 and the number 7 is like oil and water, because the number 7 deals with the metaphysical realm, non-physical realm. And the number 8, like Taurus energy, deals with the physical realm. So, with those two energies, they're like oil and water. But with everything, with the day of the new moon, deals with our, intuitive senses. We're sensing things that the eyes can't fully explain. It's like getting the green light. And with the energies of the new moon adding up or reducing to number 2 vibration, the number 2 is ruled by the moon. It's feeling. I have that strong gut feeling. I just feel something so strongly, when it comes to this energy. So some of us could finally get that green light to make the changes that you've always wanted to make. Finally get the green light to make the change. The new moon is at 18 degrees, and the number 18 energy, the number 1 deals with the I am, deals with ideas. The number 8 deals with systems and cycles, similar to the 8th year. 1 + 8 is 9. The number 9 deals with change. The number 9 deals with ending. The number 9 also, because it deals with ending and change, sometimes we could avoid change in the end, so we hold on to what is, or we try to hold on to what is, even though it's time to move on. So when it comes to this new moon energy, I remember in the daily video I was speaking about that. And this video will be dropped before the daily video, of course, because the daily video is speaking about the daily video will be dropped on the 7th of May, where this will come out, of course, way before. And then the daily video, I was saying with the new moon energy, there's something about it where it's like, you know, some of us are having a hard time accepting the change. When I think of how the daily video is set for 12 noon, and the new moon is happening like at 11:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is later on in the day, and it's like in the beginning of the day of the new moon, we find ourselves resistant to change. But as time goes by, we're more open to the change that we were resistant to earlier in the day. So yes, the new moon is at 11:22 p.m. and I did notice the synchronicities with the numbers, the master number 11 and the master builder 22. And 2, 4, 6, 7, and don't normally add up the numbers in the time, but the numbers in the time does add up to number 7 energy, so more introspective energy there. With the master number 11, you know, it brings me to like a portal, a doorway. You know, you see the 2 number 11, the 2 ones there. It's like a doorway walking through the center. With the number 11 energy, we struggle with walking through the center because we fear the unknown. And then we have the master builder number 22 energy, you know, within the time. And the master builder 22 energy, the number 2 energy is nurturing and caring. And the master builder deals with structure and stability. But sometimes we could get so carried away in the work to the point that we don't check in with ourselves. So we're coming from a robotic place opposed to coming from a space of intuition and guidance. So when I think of the numerology surrounded by this new moon energy, it's getting this. It's like a whisper in the ear, this knowing that it's time to make certain changes, and you're just going to have to trust yourself. That's the feeling. It's like I'm thinking of Harry Potter or some kind of a fairy tale type of movie, and I'm thinking about and I'm also thinking about what I used to hear them say in church about the rapture, and it's like, certain people are called, but others will be asleep. And those who could hear will hear the message to go get saved, and those who can't will miss out. Like, this energy reminds me of that, in the sense that it's like we're all sharing the same spaceship called Earth. And it's like some of us hear the calling to make certain shifts when it comes to our world because there's a portal to do so. And it's like some people hear it, act on it, and, you know, moving forward within the next few weeks, months, years, you see their life transforming tremendously. And it's like we all, the sounds available to all of us, but some of us will be able to hear and some won't, in the sense that you trust your intuition and you've built up that knowing within yourself. So when you hear it, you hear it. When you know type of vibe. And of course, one thing leads to the next. So it's like you get this divine knowing in this moment, but it didn't start from this moment. It started from before, working on your intuition from before, working on whatever it is that you're working on, to the point where it's like, you know, you're waiting to be called type of vibe. You're waiting for your intuition to tell you when it's time to move on to the next level. So this energy, the numerology behind this, brings me to that saying where they say the revolution will not be televised. It's like within all of us, we're having that experience. Some people are aware that they're having it and they allow themselves to go with the flow of the change. And then some people completely shut it down, restrict it, and ignore it and continue watching TV type of vibe is what I get from this energy. You know, there's this silent, it's interesting. It's like, if you don't know it's happening, you won't know what to look for. But if you know, you know. It just feels very intuitive, the numerology behind it. The second thing that I want to share with you when it comes to a new moon in Taurus is, what is a new moon exactly? So a new moon is when the sun and the moon conjunct each other. Conjunct meaning they're at the exact degree. They are lined up, they are with each other. And a new moons are magical because new moons reflect new beginning. And it's a new beginning with the son, the father, masculine energy, and the mother, feminine energy, masculine meaning extroverted. So extroverted and introverted energies come together and make one. It's like the subconscious mind and the conscious mind coming together, and there being a new beginning, where normally it's like our conscious mind and our subconscious mind are in two different places, operating differently, meaning that, we might say we want a certain thing, but we keep creating more of what we don't want. That's because there's a disconnect between the two. Where when it comes to a new moon energy, there's a connection where it's like manifestation is so much more possible and is so much more feasible because these energies are together. It's like the masculine and the feminine is together, ready to give birth to something tangible, because the sun is the number one masculine energy. The moon is the number two feminine energy. The sun is the idea. The moon is the nurturer. Like the sun, the number one masculine energy, it plants the idea into the number two feminine energy, the womb of the number two, and it gives birth to the number three, the child, the creative self-expression of the idea that came from the number one. So on a new moon, it's like we have an idea, and our ideas are masculine. So we have an idea, and then there's another side of us that is able to nurture our ideas into something tangible. So, a new moon in Taurus is a new beginning when it comes to a new value. What is it that you value about yourself? What is it that you value about life? For some people, it might be a new beginning when it comes to maybe a new home, a new car, new jewelry, new clothing, new makeup, something new that's tangible. Or like I said, it could be a value, a new way of seeing yourself in the world, or a new thing that you appreciate, a new thing that you consider to be valuable, or even a way to make more money, or a new opportunity to make more money, or new finances coming into your world. And with the new moon, not too far from Jupiter conjunct Uranus, I think of how, with the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction and how that's happening for the next 15 years. I had created that video, but I had only shared that on Patreon along with Sun, Moon, Rising aspects to that. But with that Jupiter conjunct Uranus energy, this is how we're creating innovative ways to free ourselves from the mundane ways of doing things. And with Uranian energy there, sudden and unexpected events can happen that forces us to be more independent when it comes to our finances, independent when it comes to how we feed ourselves, save and manage our money, educate ourselves, the way how we govern ourselves. All of that is transforming, all of that is changing. So with this new moon energy, this is where we're getting new insight, we're getting new inspiration, intuitive guidance on how to create more security and stability for ourselves individually, and not necessarily how we've been conditioned to think how things are supposed to be. We all have unique needs, and I feel like this new moon energy is bringing in new insight on how we could thrive, individually, so we have the strength to come together and be there for each other. The third thing that I want to share with you when it comes to this new moon energy is the challenges. And when it comes to the challenges, I'm looking at the new moon, I'm looking at Venus squaring Pluto in Aquarius. Venus is in Taurus, and it's close enough to the new moon to create somewhat of a conjunction. But at the same time, Jupiter conjunct Uranus is creating a trine to Pluto. So it's like there's a challenging aspect is being made from the same camp, which is the Taurus camp, towards Pluto in Aquarius, but then there's also positivity flowing there also. So to me, when it comes to the challenge, it brings me to having a hard time accepting change, having a hard time accepting the truth or the reality about a thing. So this is where with Taurus energies, we're so comfortable with our comforts. And it always brings me to the thought of Taurus energy, period, and even Capricorn and Virgo energy, because those are all the earth energies, that those are the foundational energies. And with those energies, I think of someone feeling like, I hate this job, or I hate this situation, but but at the same time, the benefits that come from it is hard to give up. So I'm going to stay in this tolerable state of unhappiness. You know, when I think of Taurus, the earth energies, I think of those energies are good at existing in tolerable state of unhappiness. And I was speaking about that when I was speaking about grand trines in the daily chart, where, you know, we could have those grand trines in our chart and they bring in all these goodness, but at the same time, we might be over and we've outgrown the goodness that they bring and we want something else. But because of the comfort that the trine brings, instead, we stay in a tolerable state of unhappiness. So when I look at the challenge being made to the new moon, it brings me to how much newness is really coming in, how much change is really coming in, because for a lot of us, our comforts could cause us to exist in a tolerable state of unhappiness. The fourth thing that I want to share with you when it comes to this new moon in Taurus energy is what is unexpected. And I feel like the unexpected is that feeling might change. It's like, yes, in the beginning of with this new moon energy, we might find that the need for comfort and stability, the need for comfort, and also to the false sense of security that we have with familiarity can make it hard for us to accept the truth in a thing and make the changes and take the chances that's necessary. But I feel like unexpectedly, it's like we're going to realize that change is inevitable, and unexpectedly certain things will happen within our world, whether it's natural disasters or different things that appear to be natural disasters, where there's challenges around the finances, challenges around food and agriculture, challenges around education. It's like these sudden and unexpected events and things are appearing, and they're forcing us to take responsibility, to take control of our lives, which in return brings me to the blessing number 5, where when it's all said and done, these challenging situations that unexpectedly occur will help us to recreate a world where we're living life according to our own terms. Of course, all of this isn't happening overnight, but it's just one thing at a time. It's like building a home brick by brick. And, you know, as you lay each brick, different things might come up. And from different things coming up, you're forced to do things in a different way, and also to prepare yourself for the future. I think of someone building, and it's like you have to be careful how you build so that you don't build yourself into a position where you're stuck. Is like, as you're building, you're thinking about the future. So when it comes to the blessings with this energy, it also brings me to Pluto in retrograde. And with Pluto in retrograde energy in retrograde is going to dip back into Capricorn and help us to remember whatever it is that we forgot before it moves forward and continues in Aquarius. So the example I gave for that during one of the daily videos was how, you know, Pluto moving into Aquarius and then retrograding into Capricorn would bring me to you hurrying up and moving up out of your home or your apartment, or hurrying up and leaving your job. And then with the retrograde, you have an opportunity to go back to that job for a little bit. You have an opportunity to go back to that home or that apartment to see if you left anything behind. And just from the opportunity of revisiting the career path, revisiting that thing, you're reminded of why you left in the first place. You're reminded of why you need to keep moving forward. You're reminded that, you know, you left for a reason. Whether you were unhappy, whether you couldn't afford it, you left for a reason. And the reason why you left never went anywhere. So it's just a matter of time before it's going to come up again. So might as well you build a future moving forward, you know, moving forward and going and having the experiences that you would like to have. So yeah, when it comes to this new moon in Taurus energy, the blessings in it brings me to the ability to reflect on certain things. And of course, the reflection isn't going to just happen on the day of the new moon. You know, it's going to happen, you know, throughout this year as Pluto energy is retrograding in Capricorn before it fully goes direct. Also too, with Uranus conjunct Jupiter transit that happened recently, I think on the 20th of April, and then it lasting for the next 15 years, you know, alongside with the Pluto and Aquarius transit, both those two energies alone, you know, to me brings me to a shift in the groups we associate ourselves with and the things that we consider to be value, the things we consider to be value. Because without money, it would be the groups we associate ourselves with and the things we value. We would be trading with each other and bartering to get whatever it is that we need to get our needs met. You know, that's where we would find value. Oh, you have this, I have that, let me get two of that. You can have three of this. Boom, we trade. And from us trading, you know, life goes on. So when I look in the new moon energy with Taurus, it's like, yeah, you're realizing some things that are valuable to you that you didn't thought was valuable before. And from that, it's like, okay, I'm realizing what's important, what's not important. So for me, realizing what's important and what's not important, I have a clear idea also of where I belong and where I don't, based on what's important and what's not important to me. It was such a pleasure sharing this video with you. If you'd like to check out part 2, where I go deeper into the sun, moon, and rising placements, that's available on Patreon. Hey guys, I want to share with you 7 benefits of getting a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session. The first one is understanding your internal programming. The second one is becoming more clear about your purpose and passion. The third is setting goals for success. The fourth is awareness of strength and areas of improvement. And the fourth one was foundational for me, because whenever you're aware of your weaknesses, no one can use them against you. And when you're aware of your strengths, that makes you unstoppable. And that is why I say self-awareness is a superpower. The fifth benefit is removing obstacles. We first have to become aware of a thing in order to remove it in the first place. The sixth benefit is understanding relationship dynamics. We don't have to change the people in our lives. We have to become aware of ourselves and start from there, and everything changes. And the seventh benefit is upcoming transits, if that's something that you would like to look into because you're planning for something or you just want to be aware. So if you're interested in booking a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session or learning more about it, the link to book or the link to send me an email for questions are both within the description box below. If you'd like to check out my Patreon, where I share exclusive content, and also to become a part of the meetup group, which is my favorite thing on Patreon, the link to check out what's happening on Patreon is in the description box below. Before you go anywhere, please let me know you're here with me by dropping me an orange heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.